Well, I want to talk about boundaries. There was an earlier question about that. What do you do when you set them and then they're not respected? They're overrun. And this could be in our personal lives, professionally. We always say, though, at Rise Up For You, the person is the professional and the professional is the person. Netta talked about that earlier today in the 6 pillars conversation. So how do you react, or what are some back pocket strategies that you can do when you find the boundaries keep getting pushed against or overran? Yes.
This brings me back to the classroom. Okay, so, and the book that I was talking about. So in the classroom, I was a teacher for 20 years. And in the classroom, you set the rules, you set the boundaries. And when someone goes against them, it's not a matter of if. When we were starting off as teachers, we would get nervous, like, oh my gosh, but what if someone doesn't listen? It's not a matter of if it's going to happen. It's a matter of when. When is someone not going to respect your boundaries? And so we need to have a plan in place for that. And then the connection I have with the book, because I was just reading the book Extreme Ownership, is it's not a matter of setting the boundary. You get what you tolerate. You will get what you tolerate. So if you set the boundary, people step all over it, and you tolerate that, that is what you're going to get. And worse yet, other people that have observed it are now going to lower their standards. So it's super important to enforce the boundaries. Don't just set the boundaries. You need to enforce the boundaries on a regular basis. And that happens in good leadership all the time, as well as in the classroom. Happens all the time because it's being tested with every student, with every colleague. Boundaries are being, can be tested.
I love that answer, Christine.
Yes, I'm going to agree 100% with that too, because it is so true. People will allow you, they'll allow what you will allow them to do to you. So if you continue to keep moving and they are going to continue to step all over your boundaries and you allow it, they're going to keep doing it. So don't forget, you're important and you have to tell yourself, I don't want that. I got to stop that. And it's okay to say no, and take a break and say, I'm saying no to that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Mona, you wanted to add as well.
I was just going to say, they say what you keep perceiving persists, right? So it's a lot of that, and it works on the energy level. And if you're a spiritual person, you see that, like what you're feeling, the energy you're feeling, that does. And then really going into your boundaries on the other side is really understanding the both sides and really doing the feel, felt, found, and really how your approach is for yourself, what works in the energy that you're speaking with, and all of that. I think that's a big part too.
Yeah, speaking about, well, I want to agree, uplift everything everybody said, and plus to know how to not tolerate, because there's a lot of times as human beings, we want to avoid the uncomfortable conversation. And so sometimes it's just a conversation with that person, going back to the word grace, because sometimes people, some people do it on purpose, but some people are not going out of their way to cross your boundary. They're not like, oh, today I'm going to cross Roberta's boundaries, just to cross Roberta. Like the people have a lot of stuff. So just being clear is kind as well, like being able to have that conversation with the person who's crossing your boundaries, and just saying, hey, I've been feeling this, I've set this clearly, and it keeps being crossed. So our relationship is important. So how can we work on that? So that way you're not tolerating it, and you're finding ways to fix it, to course correct. And then if it keeps happening, that's when you get to decide if we're going to do another conversation, or is it time to limit this person's access to me? So just another thought to also keep in mind, that it's not sometimes personal, and just giving also grace and having that conversation at least once.